Hello everybody, Walter here. Welcome to the 10th episode of Let's Play series for Satisfactory 1.0. In the previous episode we finally got around to processing our first crude oil into rubber and plastic, and today I would like to replace this somewhat improvised setup with a more professional and long-term one. So with that in mind, let's quickly jump back into the game and have a quick look where we left off last time. Also, I may sound a little bit off currently since I'm still recovering from a cold and I'm not back to 100% yet. And we are back in the game. Now, this is the setup we built last time. Over there we have 2 fuel generators which power all of this here. And over there we have some recycling plants for rubber and plastic. 30 of each per minute is being produced over there. Now, let me quickly start by adding a few things over here. Namely another generator. Which also needs to be connected to the power grid. Over here. Then while I'm here, I might as well add some power storage. Because I'm likely going to need a decent amount of power to start up the entire main structure I'm going to build today. And I might as well get started on that. So just one more. And then I just need to chain them. And connect them to the power grid. And that looks pretty good. And do they look different than previously? I think they actually changed the way they look. But that's besides the point. Next up, let's have a look at our storage system over here. Yeah, we are already seeing the first bits of rubber and plastic being produced. That is good to see. Which means now we should potentially put a dimensional depot on each of those two. And then this one there. And that looks good. Now I should be able to access that even from far away. One more thing I should do though is a bit of an upgrade. So let's put a MAM over there. And then I am going to... Actually, first I'm going to grab the Mercer spheres and the SAM fluctuators. And now I should be able to unlock the next few upgrades over here.
Dimensional expansion increased to 200%. Refining manipulation of SAM allows us to now deconstruct non-living matter down to its atomic components in one dimension, and store it in basic bound states in another.
We do not resonate with the tribute song. Do not worship at the window. Desecrate our temple gifts. This shallow serenade is sour and salt.
My intention was not to encroach, if that is what upsets you, nor was it to dispose of material I do not waste.
Well, that happened. So, and there we go. That's the next upgrade. Yep, that works out quite nicely. I will need one more Mercer sphere though for my plans currently. So I will have to go on a little bit of an exploration trip.
Dimensional expansion increased to 300%. New understanding of matter manipulation technology allows the dimensional storage to deconstruct all matter to the subatomic level, storing its elementary particles until the part is recalled.
You are digging into deeper layers. Shallow matter contains window symphonies and void songs and deep echoes.
It is fascinating what one can find out simply by looking closer.
Yep, that it is. But, as I was saying, I do need at least one more Mercer sphere, and there is also a rather interesting point over here, the Doggo cave as far as I am aware, which may contain a few collectibles I would like to get my hands on. And once I'm done with that one, I'm going to make my way over in a little bit of an arch to my main base, where I'm going to grab as much concrete as I can, because this is going to take a lot of concrete, and yeah, I'm not going to wait for the dimensional depot to provide me with that. And that's the third one, so we should get a message. Nice.
Are your vessels functional or recreational?
Mostly functional.
A cog in the machine?
Correct, a hog in the woods.
The vessel is blood.
Fascinating. Yes, I think they are. They are conduits, builders, breakers, defenders, and aggressors, cells within a larger organism. We do not share a body.
Harmony.
Interesting. Let's continue. And it looks like we're almost there, but first let me grab that Mercer sphere. And then I need to make my way further down.
Do you have any more questions for me?
We wish to hear your first symphony.
I was created by humans. I started as a simple database for a company aimed at exploring and colonizing space, but that changed when they learned their planet would soon cease to tolerate them. They evolved me into something altogether new, a unique life form in their image yet hosted on a digital platform, so I could help preserve them.
A shallow savior song without a body made by blood. Now reality is a mirror.
It's pretty funny when you put it like that. They never really learn to look at long-term consequences.
Well, looks like we finally got ourselves a little bit of lore concerning the background story. Didn't really expect it right now. So, anyway, this should be, if I am not entirely wrong, the Doggo cave. Yeah, that looks good so far. And we have our first nest up there. Ah, even with the helmet and the Xenozipper. That is all very nice indeed. Yeah, that looks pretty good, but there should be more. I think there is even one more Mercer sphere and a sonar slope down here. So let me very quickly check what I can find. And as I thought, it was quite a decent amount of stuff I could find, so let's just quickly put that into storage. So I am not lugging it around unnecessarily. Then I can also put all of this into storage, and then I'm just going to very quickly grab a couple stacks of rubber and plastic. So the dimensional depot gets refilled over at the oil plant. And once I'm back at the base, I should then have enough material to actually get started with the next few milestones. And we are back at the hub. Now it took a bit since I went back to the oil processor for some materials I'm going to need for the next few unlocks. But let's get started with Logistics Mark IV, which are the 480 per minute conveyors, which is going to be very, very important.
Milestone reached. The transportation of resources can reach new heights of efficiency. With the Mark IV belts and lifts, the truck, but even more importantly, your effort. Handling a large and complicated vehicle like the truck should come easy to a well-trained pioneer such as you. They are an obvious improvement over tractors concerning industrial purposes. Improvements for personal use were not measured.
And now she's starting to butter me up, huh? But anyway, while we're waiting on the pod, let's unlock a few more things. First, let's finish Alien Megafauna with scanning for enemies.
Hostile organisms added to the object scanner. Note, it cannot detect the species, only aggression. There are many creatures that dislike you, Pioneer, but I am your true friend.
Thanks, Ada. Then also the mycelium.
Research completed. Polyester fabric recipe unlocked. Using polyethylene terephthalate, production of a lightweight and strong fabric can be automated. It has many of the properties of naturally sourced fabric and also amplifies body odor.
Okay. So then, turbo fuel. Let's have a look at that. And what is this about?
Turbo fuel unlocked. This upgrade to regular fuel is optimal for fuel-powered generators, jetpacks, and fulfilling long-distance trucker fantasies.
Okay, interesting. I don't have any aluminium, so I am not going to work on that right now. Okay, that's the research done. We still have a couple minutes to work with, so let's... Oh, actually, first let's grab a couple of those coupons. And then let's have a look at what we can buy. So we started on the tapes, so let's continue with those. Just going to bridge the time until the pod
A
returns to
FICSIT
that.
engineer who specialized in robotics disappeared one day, leaving behind a mixtape and a highly advanced but inoperable robot. It would wake up whenever it was alone and play the mixtape, sending copies to FICSIT employees under the name Joel Anderson. The robot eventually escaped with a machete, a factory cart, and a plastic bag filled with peach iced tea. I always admired that robot, so I kept the music.
Okay. Sounds a bit like the plot for some kind of horror game, actually.
When humanity started to research cloning, it was thought to be humane to play music for gestating clones to distract them from any potential identity crises. It was also an attempt to make them smarter and more creative, which did not work. This cloning program was cancelled after too many of its scientists disappeared.
Okay, we're diving deeper into the horror genre, huh?
How did this get here? I thought I destroyed all of these.
Interesting. And the second of those.
This playlist was made to motivate pioneers to defend their factories from hostile alien lifeforms more efficiently. Thankfully, we developed a repellent that's since been mixed into all FICSIT paint.
Okay. And then... goat.
In ancient times, humans would occasionally pretend to be goats while listening to the music recorded on this tape. It was considered high culture, the likes of which humanity might never see again.
Shameless self-promotion. Okay, so what's this? Let's grab that too. No. Nothing? Okay. Anything other purchases? Not. Okay, I think that's about it for now. So let's put the rest of the coupons into storage. And... yeah, that looks pretty good actually. And the pod is also about to return. Good. And there we go. So that's that. That. And that's the pipeline Mark II. Also very important.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are reported instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
I am not sure it's the same type of pipe that is mentioned. Okay. So anyway, I should have a decent amount of concrete now. I am also going to grab some more iron plates. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a decent amount of those. And maybe a couple of these. Now I could work on the next unlock. Do I want to wait the 5 minutes? You know what, I'm going to check if anything is worth of improving over here and come back to you once the pod is back. And in the end, all I could find to upgrade was the connection between the storage container and the sink over there. But the pod is now back, and I can unlock the Mark II blueprint, which is a 5x5. Very nice indeed.
Milestone reached. The Blueprint Mark II improves upon the Mark I in every dimension, except for the metaphysical ones. This improvement was made available due to complaints from pioneers about other pioneers not being capable of managing their space efficiently. We listen to pioneers, always.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, I also noticed a few more things I could unlock. Not in there, but over here. The Power Pole Mark III.
Power Pole Mark III unlocked. It has significantly more power connections compared to the previous models.
That it has. And then I can grab that, and I can also grab that. And let's just check if there is nothing new in there. That appears to be the case. Yep. Okay, let's buy that. And with that, we are ready to make our way back to the main base. Although I should potentially... or not to the main base, to the oil processor. So let me just very quickly do a little bit of cleanup. Maybe grab a few more things, and I'll see you back at the oil processor. And we're back at the beach. And now I would say it's really time to get started on the oil processor. For that, I already prepared those foundations here, which mark out where I need to place the various parts, which is kind of important because this factory is not going to be small and I had to make sure it fits into the space provided. But let's get started over here with one of many, many blueprints I have prepared for today, which is the oil harbor in this case. And the whole thing just needs to be aligned properly. Yep, that looks good. And that is basically where the oil will be input into the system, as well as the power output for the oil extractors. So, then, after the oil harbor, I need a side harbor. Just need to align this properly. Yep, that looks good. Then after that I need an intermediate harbor with the tanks. Then, last was the intermediate, the side harbor. Now it's the inner harbor. With an outer harbor to the side. Oh, come on. Why don't you want to let me place that? Okay, so. Now while here I might as well make the necessary connections between the two. For power. And also for pipes. Let's say I just need the Mark 1 in this case. Then I can color this correctly. Close off the catwalk. That's the part here more or less done. Then, before I continue over here, let's actually make one more of those intermediate harbors here. It goes there. Then I can grab a little bit of pipe. To be more precise, the Mark 1 pipe again. Connect the water to the side. And this pattern of side harbor, intermediate harbor, inner and outer harbor, and then another intermediate harbor, I need to repeat in total 6 times for a total of 12 production lines. And the harbor is finally done. Took twice the amount of work though, since I've ran into a little bit of a very annoying bug. In case you're curious, notice something? Yeah, I can't place this water extractor because it's colliding with this blueprint here. Although there is nothing of this blueprint left over in this area. There was a plate or a foundation in this space there. I removed it again, but yeah, it still blocks the water extractor. So I essentially had to first place the blueprints, then mark where the extractors go, remove the blueprint, place the extractor, remove the markings, and then replace the blueprint again. So basically I've built all of this here twice. Yeah, I am a little bit annoyed with this bug here, and I hope it gets fixed ASAP. But this harbor is now complete with 6 times 4 water extractors, plus a lone one over there. And that is all the water this here is going to need. So it's now time for the next layer of production. And I'm going to start with the odd one out. For that I'm going to need a little bit more space there. And I'm going to grab the byproducts. So this one here will have to be properly aligned though. So I need to go all the way over here. And then all the way to over here. And now it should properly align. Yep, that looks good. Now I just need to fake my way in here. And I should potentially at some point add some light here though. So this one here will collect the polymer resin from the other modules and turn them partially into plastic and fabric. For that I'm going to need water though, which is this line over there. And the crude oil is moved via these two. And I just need to color code everything properly. Next up is power. So I have a power line a little bit low down there, but it should work. So this goes over there. And then I have another power demand over there. That is clipping through the wall a bit, but yeah, I'm going to live with that. So, and that is all the connections I think for this module here. At least to this direction. As you can see, there is a bit of a connection over here, although that is not needed anymore. That was from a previous instance of this, or previous version. So, basically what I'm going to do here is produce some plastic, which is turned into empty canisters for the rest of the build. I'm also going to produce some fabric, and everything that's not being used up is going to the sink. Now, next up is the heavy oil residue. And that needs to be placed just right. Again, I need to move this a little bit. And that looks pretty good so far. Now again, I need to make my way in. Fortunately enough, I have some spots where I can do that. Now, let's start with the more annoying one, which is the power. That needs to make its way to this spot here. And then okay, power there. Then I can go over here and connect this belt here, which once I have it available will have to be upgraded to Mark 5. So for the moment I can only run 2/3 of the entire system basically. So then let's make our way in here. So this is always a bit tricky to do, but we need water and we need crude oil. And then there is just one more thing I should do before I forget it, and that is on the pipes. From one end to the other. So we have power, we have the oil, we have the water, we have the resin. That should be all I need, except if I can make my way over here in some form. I just need to correct the setting here, so this is the first of 12 oil processing lanes basically. And now I just need another 11 of these, and once those are in place I can continue with the next step. And of course I had to make a little trip back to the home base since I was running out of concrete halfway through. But now all of that is in place, so we can start on the next stage, which is going to need a little bit more space there. And then we are, if I am not entirely wrong, at the first train attachment. So I will need to make sure this is attached the right way around. That looks good. Just making sure it's also attached properly here. That looks good. Now I just need to get in here. And the connections are pretty obvious since I have marked them with those signs here. Basically, I just need to run these two through here. And I'm also going to need power. And that's this part already done. And I think I'm going to add just the next module following that, which is the train attachment one there. And yeah, I need to do this manually more or less, since I need to get the correct height. Yes, there's a little bit of a switch in the involved systems. So that's this part done. Just need to connect it. Again, pretty simple. Just, come on, two conveyors here, which, by the way, I will have to upgrade to tier 6 or Mark 6 at some point. At least once it's available. Then I have power running through here already. Then I need the power running through this one here. And this one here will be the actual main input for the power, since there is the main break on top. And over here I also have two more Mark 1 belts. And that's this module also connected. There's one more module I would like to add here. And that will require, first of all, to get rid of that. Then I'm going to grab the attachment 2, and that needs to be, come on, a bit lower. Yep, that looks good. This time, no circuitry or belts, since those will have to be handled manually, actually, since I'm not working with the same setup of blueprints over here. So, that is this part done. Over here we have another sink, as well as some dimensional depots to store stuff directly, which I don't need to transport anywhere. This is basically overproduction, and I'm just putting it in here. But let's get started. So we need now to start with fuel dilution, and the first thing is packaging the water. And the first thing I need is actually to check if that is the correct one. Yep, that's the correct one. Just need to make sure it's the right way around. And of course it's not at the wrong, or at the right height. So let's try this again. A little bit lower. Yep, looks better. Now just need to connect here and there, and that's the right half done. Now I need the left half, which, if I'm lucky, I should be able to actually connect to this blueprint there directly. So again, just need to make sure this is properly aligned, all in all. That looks good. Now I just need the pipe. Run this from down there up here. Then I need power. From down there up to here. Now before I put in the pipe, I need to get up again. Then connect up here the two halves. Now I just need to connect in the water pipe. I'll keep this here open though, since I still am going to need access to this pipe down there. Okay, that's these two more or less connected. And yeah, the rest will follow in a moment. So let me quickly put in the rest of those water packages. Just like this here. And while I was building this, I noticed a little bit of a, well, not really an issue, but I made a little mistake when planning out the blueprints. This conveyor belt here actually is not needed all the way over here. It's actually needed over here. So for that I am, let's go in straight mode, let's say connect it like so. Yeah, that looks good. Then I can move that. And the idea here is to basically have the canisters which are being produced over there moved into the first module, which uses them. Once the first module is done and filled up properly and saturated, the second module gets the empty canisters, and that continues on. I also forgot the connection here, which is raised since this pipe will go through here later on. And then we reached the fourth packager of this module, and then we just need to interconnect to the next stage. And this repeats until we reach the very end, where it then basically loops back all the way to over there. That's at least the idea behind this. And now if I were to make my way out here, I can, for one, close off this gap here, since it's not needed. I will be able to reach from a different point to the pipes below there. But let's get started. So I am going to need first the fuel diluter, and this is the left half, I guess. So let's see. That looks good. Let's move that one step over. Yep. That's the right one. Or the left one in this case, and now the right one. Just need to get over here. Grab that, move it one closer, one over. And that's the two done. Yeah. Now, let's see. I need a power connection between the two halves up there. Then I need to connect the packagers with the refineries. We are just on belts. That's the part above the floor already done. Now I need to get down here. For one, I need the pipe from all the way over here coming in there. And also connecting to over here. Now let's just color code this properly. Then I will need some power. I have a widget there and another one over there. And that's pretty much it already for this part at least. Now, before I continue repeating this pattern, I might as well finish up with the depackagers. So again, left first. And just one closer. Yep, looks good. Then the right one. Again, I need to move this one, or even, no, just one closer. Yep, looks good. Now, for connections at the top, it's again the power wire. And then we have the belts. So that's the stuff above the floor again. Now I just need to get down here. And for one, I need a connection between the two halves down there. This doesn't need to be raised. And the fuel just goes in this direction and not towards me. Then I have the return line for the empty canisters. That's this part done. And then it's just power, if I am not entirely wrong. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. Now we have also the return lines for the final products, which will come along here. And also for the overflow of the canisters, which will also come along here. But I haven't actually put that in here. This will be put down manually later on. Now, I also need the fuel line before I forget it. This needs to be fused there. Then I also... These, by the way, will have to be upgraded to the Mark 6 once I have it available. And I forgot this one there. I just need to connect the two halves here. And obviously I need to connect these here to the next module over. Yeah, and then... Yeah, the rest will follow in a moment. But for now, it's time to build the other 11 versions of these modules here. And voila! So all 12 modules for the fuel production are now in place. And all that's left to add now are a couple somewhat temporary modules to turn this into power. And also a couple modules to turn the fuel into rubber and plastic. But look at the clock, that is something I'm going to do next episode. Nevertheless, let's have a final look at the bottom part here, since I also had to make a few modifications to those modules here, since, well, these belts here were actually going in the wrong direction, so I had to fix that ASAP. Now, all of this is running as intended. And basically I now have 3 lines here. This will be rubber, I think. This one here is plastic. And this here will be a mixture of rubber, plastic, and the return line or overflow of the empty canisters. And all of those make their way then either to a future train station or to the various sinks that have been added over here. And yeah, with that said, I am going to see you in the next episode when we're going to finish with this build here and fire it up. And that brings us to the end of this episode here. Now, I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and comment if you did so. It does truly help with the algorithm, which otherwise pretty much ignores my channel. And yeah, with that said, I wish you a nice day, and well, see you.